Why sin, bloodshed, spiritual, mental, and physical death? This has been the question for long centuries. Does the Holy Writ give answers to these questions? Can we trace the origin of everything from its clear blueprint? What was so, as Christ said, but because of the hardness of your heart, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. This we saw it on our earlier videos posted in this channel below. It's a mystery to enlighten you that when God created man, he marveled and he said, "Behold, whatever I have created, both animate and inanimate, seen to the unseen, is very good." And commenting of this immortal goodness of God, the psalmist says, "For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting." That we'll read in Psalms chapter 100, verse 5. God's nature is goodness. Doing good is what he rejoiceth in, even to the ungodly. Says one commentator, if God cannot save you to his kingdom, he can do good in your kingdom. From Genesis to Revelation is chronicled a journey series of men and women who lived and made decisions that would prick us to study on crucial subjects. From heaven down here on earth was the transfer of the fight between the mighty Michael and the rebel of old. It was outrightly clear that the enemy was to constantly bring confusion to them that are called by the name of God. Says John the Revelator, and the dragon was wroth with the woman. In creating man in the perfect glorious Garden of Eden, he was to be the custodian of everything, courtesy of the great I Am. Many question whether or not Adam was created before the fall or after, but I'll answer and say the plan of redemption was not an afterthought, and Christ knew that on the power given to man, he might choose to tap on the enemy's shoulder. The command in Genesis chapter 2, verse 16 to 17 clearly defines the presence of a law. Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. It was a law, and upon breaking it there was a punishment. God's judgment upon disobedience is mostly on sin and fairly less to a sinner. Before time, he bids the sinner to repent. His mercies is everlasting. And commenting on the relationship between law and sin, Paul writes, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. That you'll read in Romans chapter 7, verse 7. He adds and says, for by the law is the knowledge of sin. That you'll read in Romans chapter 3, verse 20. God knew that the punishment of disobedience was death. But thank God, when Christ came, he came to die the second death for us, not to die for it. Eternal damnation was not now the fate of them that will accept the atonement. From this, we can conclusively agree that Adam was created after the war. I'd say Satan was a roaring lion seeking to devour the holy pairs in Eden. God is love. Behind bars, he has been in the drafting of man's history in love. And for this reason was man given the power to choose. This was a worthy risk. But it was a test of man's fate whether he'll forfeit his life or prove his disloyalty to his maker. On this, God is outrightly powerless. On man's power to make both rational or irrational decision is centered the great controversy. Says Joshua, choose you this day. God has never been a tyrant, or never can he be, as seen in the uploaded videos in this channel. Though people forfeit his commands, the glad part is that he takes responsibility in all man's decision. Man's power to choose is his power to determine his divine destiny and fate. But to them that have a contrite heart and eager to know his will comes the command, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curse. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. That we'll read in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19. That thy seed may live. This is the genesis of the Genesis. In the upcoming videos, we will closely study the patriarchs of old on their stand of choice. God has given us to exercise it. He has given us freely, and that is why he becomes powerless. Behind the curtains are two groups. Upon choosing right or wrong, we give or deny them points. Choose right